Good afternoon, everyone. I am coming to you today from the Fabyan Windmill in Geneva, Illinois. The ride that we're going to do today is a custom loop I created that involves the Fox River Trail, the entirety of the Geneva Spur of the Illinois Prairie Path, and it'll finally take me on the Aurora branch of the Illinois Prairie Path. I have not been on that branch yet, so I'm always excited to try out a new trail. The Fabyan Windmill is a really great place to start rides from because you have a variety of choices. You can go north, you can go south and just stay on the Fox River Trail. You could basically go north all the way up to Wisconsin. You can go south all the way to Oswego, Illinois. And at this location, you also have the opportunity to create your own loops because there's a variety of trails in the area that all connect together, which give you the opportunity to create decently long rides with zero backtracking. This particular ride today is going to be around 37 miles total. It gets me on the Fox River Trail heading north, and then we're going to hop on the Illinois Prairie Path Geneva Spur. We are going to take that all the way to where it ends, right at the intersection of that and the Elgin branch of the Illinois Prairie Path. Then we're going to hop on the Elgin branch a little bit until we get into Wheaton. And then from Wheaton, we're going to continue on into the unknown to me section, which is the Aurora branch of the Illinois Prairie Path. And then that runs back into the Fox River Trail right in Aurora. So it's one big nice loop. The temperature is about 50 degrees this afternoon. Very sunny out, which is good. But when you get into those shady areas, it's going to start getting cooler. Now, typically when I'm right up here, up by the windmill, I just ride straight down the hill right into, there's a trail right here. That is the Fox River Trail. But this time, I'm just going to ride on the grass here, or you can go back to the little trail over here just to connect back to the parking lot. I'm going to connect up with the Fox River Trail over here, and then pick it up and start going north. So let's get this ride underway. Okay, so we're on the Fox River Trail heading north. Then we're going to be making a right onto the Geneva Spur of the Illinois Prairie Path, which should be coming up in a little bit. If you haven't seen my Fox River Trail video, this trail is about 38.5 miles long. It starts in Algonquin, Illinois, and ends on the southern end in Oswego, Illinois. If you are interested in checking out the Fox River Trail video, go ahead and click that info card above.
Please take all the damn pictures you want. Now, are there any damn questions?
Yeah, we're gonna get some damn bait.
Okay, well, as you can see, we hung a right up this hill, right onto the Geneva Spur of the Illinois Prairie Path. The Fox River Trail continues to where it ends in Algonquin, Illinois, and then the Prairie Trail takes over, and that makes its way from Algonquin basically to the Wisconsin border. If you are interested in checking out the Prairie Trail, go ahead and click that info card above. Okay, so our first map here. We started here at the Fabyan Forest Preserve by the windmill. We've made our way north to the Geneva Spur, so we're going to follow the Geneva Spur all the way to where it ends at the Elgin branch. And then we're going to follow the Elgin branch down here where the intersection with the main stem is, and the Aurora branch of the Illinois Prairie Path. So we're going to do that Aurora branch all the way here to where it connects back to the Fox River Trail in Aurora, and then make our way back up to the windmill. I've been on the Geneva Spur several times. I just actually haven't completed it all the way to where it dead ends into the Elgin branch. So that little bit after Prince Crossing Road to where it ends at the Elgin branch will be new ground for me. If you do have to cross a road where everybody's doing like 55 miles an hour, I definitely prefer the system where you hit the button and it shows all the yellow flashing lights, and then people slow down because they're alerted that you want to cross. That makes it for a good trail crossing. So it's at this point on the Geneva Spur where you're basically sandwiched in between DuPage Airport property. Here's one of the runways right here. And then back this way and over here is golf course property. So when I'm on the Geneva Spur right by the DuPage Airport, I like when the planes come in this way and land right here, because you could check out some plane landings, which are always cool. In fact, here's one right now. Okay, so about 7.5 miles into the ride, we reach this railroad bridge here as we approach West Chicago. Okay, so we've made it to the intersection of Yale Street and Elmwood Avenue. Right here, we're going to continue straight here on the Geneva Spur. But if you saw my windmill loop video, you might remember that you could take this way headed north all the way to the Great Western Trail. I'll put a map of that up as just another way to get around from one area to another. Okay, so here we are at Prince Crossing Road. On the previously mentioned windmill loop, we'd come straight down this street here and then turn here and head back the way we just came and head towards the windmill on the Geneva Spur. But for this ride, we're going to continue on the Geneva Spur. I've never actually been on this section of the Geneva Spur, so it's always exciting to check out new sections of trail. Okay, so we are at the intersection of County Farm Road and Geneva Road. It's at this point where we are at the end of the Geneva Spur of the Illinois Prairie Path. We're going to continue down this way towards Wheaton on the Elgin branch of the Prairie Path. And if we were to go back this way by that sign across the street, you could see a trail back there with a couple riders on it. That's the Elgin branch of the Prairie Path heading towards Elgin. So we're just going to cross County Farm Road here and head towards Wheaton. Okay, well, we are at the end of the Elgin branch of the Illinois Prairie Path, or the beginning, depending on how you look at that. We were at mile marker 0 of the Elgin branch. We are also at mile marker 0 of the main stem. And lastly, mile marker 0 of the Aurora branch. If you were interested in making your way to Maywood, you could head on the main stem this way. You could go through Villa Park, Elmhurst, make your way to Maywood. Then you can turn around and make your way back. As stated before, this being the Elgin branch of the Illinois Prairie Path, it'll take you all the way back to Elgin. It meets right up with the Fox River Trail. And we are going to go this way here, which is the Aurora branch, and that's the branch that I have not ridden on yet. So I'm looking forward to checking out another branch of the Illinois Prairie Path here. We're pretty much as far east as we're going to get on this part of the loop, and then it's a little more south, and then we're back to headed west towards the Fox River Trail. Okay, so we're right at the point where the Aurora branch of the Illinois Prairie Path meets up with the West Branch DuPage River Trail, which goes that way here. That West Branch DuPage River Trail is one of the trails I have not explored yet, so that's on my list of ones to explore in spring of next year. welcome to Warrenville, Illinois. Okay, so on this map, we're right here where the star is. We just went by St. James Farm Forest Preserve. So the rest of our ride continues on the Aurora Branch down off map over this way. But it's at this point where there is a trail that will take you to Fermilab. I have seen that on AllTrails. That is something I'm interested in checking out for next year. It looks like there's a little trail. I'm not sure if it goes completely around Fermilab or just goes right near the property. And then you can make your way back to this point. So that's one of those smaller trails that I'm definitely going to be checking out next year. Let's take a moment to recognize Old Glory. A bunch of them. There's not much of a breeze, but they are standing proudly nonetheless. POWMIA. Not forgotten, never forget. Okay, so I'm about 20 miles into the ride right now in Warrenville. Back when we were at that map in Warrenville, I noticed that there was a restroom here. So I decided to stop to make sure it was unlocked. There's a park back over here. And then this is the little access to the trail. So that is useful to have because one of the downsides of this particular loop is there aren't many restrooms right on the trail. Okay, so about 22 miles into the loop, we run across the intersection between the Aurora branch of the Illinois Prairie Path, which continues towards Aurora this way under the tunnel here, and the Batavia Spur of the Illinois Prairie Path. Let me show you that on the map here. So we're right here. We're going to continue heading towards Aurora. The Batavia Spur will take you to Batavia. So if you were doing this loop and you had, for some reason, had to get back to your car quicker, instead of taking it down to Aurora, you could shave off some miles and some time by taking the Batavia Spur this way, and you'll end up hitting the Fox River Trail in Batavia instead of Aurora. So it'll definitely save some time. I'm not exactly sure how much time it'll save or how many miles, but it'll definitely save some time and miles for you. Okay, so right now we're at Illinois Avenue in Aurora. If you needed to cut this loop short, you could take a right here on Illinois Avenue and then pick up the Fox River Trail on the other side of the river. Okay, I wanted to point out that the sign here says that we're technically on the Fox River Trail. So where the Aurora Branch ends in Aurora really depends on what map you look at. It could end here, or I could actually follow it down to where the Illinois Prairie Path website says it ends. So I'm at the John C. Dunham Pavilion. Back when I did the Fox River Trail ride, as soon as I arrived in the Aurora area, I was greeted with live music. So this is where that live music was earlier in the year when I did that ride. So this is the bridge here in Aurora that we are going to make our way back across the Fox River and access the Fox River Trail, hang a right and start heading north. So that's right here. According to the Illinois Prairie Path website, the Aurora Branch ends right here. So I want to see exactly what this little stretch is. Then I get to turn around and come right back across this bridge. You should note that this bridge is split up in two sides. Bikes need to be on this side and pedestrians over here. So I wanted to point out here that while the Illinois Prairie Path website shows it continues, once again we have another sign that says that we are on the Fox River Trail. So I guess it's possible that it's both trails at this point. Okay, so it ends right here at Route 25 Broadway. It says follow the bike route signs, 1.5 miles to the Fox River Trail. I'm not exactly sure where on the trail you will access that from this point. But it comes out here. We're right across the street from the Aurora Regional Fire Museum, and the Aurora Central Fire Station's over here. We got another sign indicating that this is in fact the Fox River Trail and not the Aurora branch of the Illinois Prairie Path. Down this way is the Hollywood Casino, and then we're going to cross on that bridge way over there. Okay, so now we're back on the Fox River Trail. We're going to be heading north here. If you're interested in heading to downtown Aurora, it's over my shoulder back this way towards the casino. And otherwise, we're making our way back towards Geneva and to the Fabyan Windmill. So I stopped at the dam here for a moment. It's at this point on the Fox River Trail where you could go on the side we're on now, the west side of the trail, and make your way all the way to the Fabyan Windmill. You could also cross like those bikers up there are and go to this part here. The Fox River Trail runs on both sides. You could take this all the way up to the windmill also. So if you're on this loop and you're doing it more than once, you could definitely take a different way. It'll just make its way back, just give you something new to look at. Okay, well, as you saw back there's a restroom at that Les Aarons Forest Preserve. Looks like that would be also trail parking. They had a covered, sheltered area to eat, take a break. there you have it. We're back at the Fabyan Windmill. The bike says 38.6 miles. AllTrails says 38.1. The temperature dropped at least 10 degrees in the past hour or so. It's getting a lot colder. Nice sun right now for the windmill. When I was on the other side of the river, there was a ton of photographers I saw. Well, if you like the loop, be sure to let me know in the comments below. You could also like, and if you haven't subscribed to the video, the vast majority of the people who are watching these videos are still not subscribed. So it doesn't cost anything, and it definitely helps my channel become more visible. So if you could, please subscribe to the channel. Well, all that's left is to pack the bike up and head back home. I'll catch you on the next ride.